Hello, everyone. I'm Jean Ladding of Leading Consciously. My colleagues and I are pleased to announce the launch of our new online course. The course is designed to help you navigate. We have offered the content of the course for several years as leadership consultants and coaches. We've offered it in a variety of settings: for-profit, nonprofit, small business, educational institutions. People who have used our skill sets everywhere: home, work, community. You don't need me to tell you that the world has become more polarized. It's hard enough trying to make it work with people who share your background, share your values, look at the world the same way you do. Now, try adding cultural differences: gender, race, ethnicity, generation, religion, places on the hierarchy, sexual orientation, and I could go on. People are walking on eggshells, trying not to offend and not knowing what to do or say. They are confused and afraid, not knowing whether their words will be used against them. They come to us asking, how can we talk with one another if we have to be so careful, and if people are offended by things that we think are perfectly okay? People who have taken our courses often report to us that there are some people they have tried and tried to make things work with, and nothing has been successful. They declare this person is unreachable. Then they learn our skill sets, and over time they come back and report that this person that they formerly thought was just totally out of reach now has suddenly developed a new attitude. We're offering this course online now because we want to reach people who are not in organizations that will provide them with this kind of development opportunity. We refer to the course as pioneers because we all are truly pioneers trying to navigate our way through this new, stress-filled, fast-paced, multicultural world. Okay, so this is the high-level view. I'm now going to introduce you to two colleagues who are integral members of the Leading Consciously community. First, you'll meet Stephanie Foy, who helped co-found Leading Consciously and who has been with us since its inception. Stephanie, tell us about yourself, why you joined the work, why you're excited about Pioneers.
Well, initially I joined the work because I was doing counseling work with individuals. And what I noticed was that I would work with individuals and I would get them to what I thought was a better place. And they would go back into their family relationships, their work relationships, and whatever had bothered them or whatever had gotten them into the stressful place where they showed up at my door would be repeated. So I said, okay, somehow I want to be able to impact beyond the individual. I want to be able to give not only the individual tools, but also their relationships and their organization. So I was looking really for a way to be able to work with individuals within systems and how to impact those relationships. Well, a long time ago, I was working in a counseling setting. And what I noticed is that people would come in week after week and they would feel better when they left, but they'd go back into what was challenging relationships in their home life, in their work life. So I really was looking for an opportunity and a way to help people have an impact on their relationships and on the organizations that they worked in. So it caused me to go back, get an advanced degree. That's when I met Jean and really fell in love with the approach and the work that she was doing, and so connected with her and have been working with her ever since. What I'm really excited about in terms of Pioneers is the opportunity to bring this work to a wider audience, in particularly to younger professionals, because I do believe there's so much need for these skills, especially in today's environment with so much conflict, so many competing demands, and so much separation in terms of the divisions that we're experiencing politically, socially, culturally, and how do we bridge those divides that will get us individually and collectively to a better place. So I think for young professionals, oftentimes they don't have the opportunity to avail themselves of professional coaching because of expense, of professional development. Maybe it's not available to them in their organizations at the level that they're at. So by us being able to provide it in this type of module in an online setting that's available to any person at any position within their organization, I really think there's a lot of opportunity for people who want to make a difference in their own organizations, in their own lives, and in their society, for them to participate with us in our Pioneers course and really see some benefits to themselves and to their organizations.
Yes, you nailed it. That's exactly what the hope is. And thank you for explaining it. Okay, next we will have Amy Foy Hagerman. Amy is Stephanie's daughter, and she basically grew up with the skill set that we are going to cover in Pioneers. Amy, tell us about yourself and how you've used the skills.
Growing up with the Leading Consciously skill set was quite literally a lifesaver. For much of my life, I always felt sort of victim to my emotions, like they had more control of me than I had of them. And then my emotions were always so elevated that they would affect my thoughts as well, and therefore my behavior out in the world. And so having these skill sets really allowed me to learn how to process my emotions, how to be an observer of my thoughts, and allowed me to just act consciously, with awareness, so that I could show up the way I wanted to show up in the world and not feel victim to what my emotions or what my physiology was telling me was going on in any given situation. I've always known that there was potential within me to show up as a person who was calm, as a person who was confident, who didn't take everything personally, who allowed other people to make mistakes and be human and forgive them, with ease and grace, and to empower other people as well. And those things took practice, and it takes me really processing my emotions and being aware of what I'm doing in order to show up that way, to be a person that is generous with others and with myself, to be a person that is confident and resilient and agile, flexible in the world.
Okay. And what about Pioneers? What do you think of the curriculum that we've developed?
I am so excited about launching the Leading Consciously Pioneers program. So what has happened for me as I've grown up and gone out into the world, having grown up with these skill sets, is that I'll be in conversation with friends or colleagues and something will happen and I'll just point out, oh, well, we have a dominant dynamic situation here, like we're having a power and status situation. Or, oh, did you realize that you're basing that on an assumption? You just got all hot and bothered because you think so-and-so happened, but you don't actually know that. And there's just been lots of situations where I've used these skill sets naturally, and people will look at me and say, I have no idea what you're talking about. What are you talking about? And I'm just so excited that now anyone is going to have access to these skills because they are truly life-changing. For me, the skill sets address your interpersonal work, what's going on, in your brain and your mind, what's going on in your emotions. And then they also give you the tools to work with others, which for me is a step. So as a, middle-class white girl that grew up with all the privilege that I have a desire to be more of an ally, accomplice in the world. But without these skill sets, I would have no confidence whatsoever to do that. And don't get me wrong, I'm still certain that I'm going to mess it up from time to time, but I know that I have the resilience and the skills necessary to clean up when I've made a mistake. So I'm so excited that anyone is going to have access to these skill sets and can make these life-changing behaviors for themselves. I think not only will it bring people an individual sense of awareness, of empowerment, that they can choose how they want to show up in the world, that they don't have to be victim to their own thoughts and their own emotions, but also it's going to help teach people how to show up in the world differently if that's what they so choose. For me, I'm really interested in bridging divides between races, between genders. That's how I would like to show up differently and stretch myself and sort of bridge differences. For other people, it may just be healing a toxic relationship at their work. It may be wanting to reframe how they've seen their boss all these years and just making that relationship better. But either way, because the Leading Consciously skill set, the 6 skills that we teach are so comprehensive, there's no way to take this course and not change your life in some aspect, if not several.
Okay, well, launch date is June 1. You can go to www.leadingconsciously.com to sign up. Hope to see you in June. Thanks, Stephanie and Amy. Bye.